Well, June is Pride Month, and it's a time to spread a message of love, acceptance, support, and belonging. And all month long, organizations all over the inland Northwest will be having events to celebrate that exact message. Now, tomorrow, the North Idaho Pride Alliance is hosting their annual Pride in the Park, and it's the 7th year that the organization is hosting the event. Now, last year was actually their biggest event ever. And it was actually their first since COVID even happened. But that was also the same year when members of a hate group were actually arrested while the event was going on. 31 members of them were arrested by the Coeur police. So now, 1 year later, I decided to go to City Park to speak with the executive director, Dr. Lynch, to find out how the community is now recovering. So we know there's been a lot happening in the last year, especially in Idaho, with a lot of anti-trans legislation and the conversations happening. Why would you say that Pride this year is so important?
Yeah, well, I think what Pride last year told me, with 2,500 people showing up, despite the fact that we were double booked on Spokane's Pride, and all the rhetoric that was going on, is that this is a community that wants Pride. This is a community that needs Pride, and they need the North Idaho Pride Alliance. And I think, that's why coming back and doing it again this year is so important, but also getting the message out as to what the North Idaho Pride Alliance is and what we do. We envision a North Idaho where LGBTQIA plus people can belong and where they can connect and where they're empowered to thrive.
We know what happened last year,
right.
But let's look ahead to this year. And what do you expect from this year's event?
This year, our safety plan is going to be that much more comprehensive, and we're going to make sure that we still have the do not engage protocol, but we've got a safety team who's trained in de-escalation to make sure that folks stay safe. Because we want another safe and successful Pride, just like we had last year. There's just been such an outpouring of support from this community. There's almost 70 vendors as compared to a little over 50 last year. We also have enjoyed the same level of sponsorship, if not more, this year. And we also do have the mayor who is signing a Pride proclamation for the city. So we're really excited to have one of the city council members here to read that proclamation as part of the opening ceremonies for Pride in the Park. I think last year, even before the actual Pride event, was a sort of a focusing moment for me personally. All of the years up till last year, I had attended Pride as a recipient, if you will, but last year was the first time that I actually worked Pride, and I felt like it was really sort of a passing of the torch, where it's time for me to take it on now.
Yeah.
And so that's where I'm approaching this Pride from. And so to your point about what's Pride for, it's an opportunity for people to celebrate the ability to live authentically. I think it's also a place where those who aren't safe to live authentically can come to seek help and support. And then it's also a time for us to remember those who sacrificed greatly in order for us to enjoy the rights we have today to be authentic in who we love. So I've heard people say before that Pride saves lives, and I 100% believe that.